Like, we're coming. You're fine. You're fine. Your camera's fine. What? Stop messing with it. Like, your camera's fine. Looks fine. It's fine. Hi everyone, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that wonderful break screen of me typing things in there while I was doing random things. Now joining us is Cranking 90s on health and wellness, GamerDoc. Welcome. How you doing, Doc?
Well, welcome back again.
Again.
I'm so excited to be here, mainly because when I first came on the show, I didn't know either of you very well, and now I'm inside of your brains, and I know how wonderful they are, and so I'm double excited.
But yeah, we wanted to have you on just to talk more about health in general and the current state, and some of the stuff that you're seeing people are dealing with during this pandemic. Like, this is a lot of gaining the pandemic weight is a key thing that a lot of people are saying right now. And I'm wondering if you have any insight on how some people are coping with that, because that's actually sending some people into depression because they're gaining weight. So it's an interesting dynamic that we're dealing with as a whole, as a society. And what are some of the things you're doing to help combat some of those things that you're seeing out there?
Honestly, I wish I liked research, because I just hate it. I hate research. Because I think speculatively, I think that gamers are doing a lot better coping with the pandemic than the general population, because
For sure.
we are talking like this. This is how we talk, right? This is how we engage. So there's no transition for us.
We've prepared all our lives to never leave the house.
I've been training my whole life for a global pandemic.
And here we are, and life is okay. Nothing's really changed.
There used to be a running joke in the house that, I'd say I would go to the club like every month with everybody, and then, 10 p.m. would roll around, and I would try and bribe everyone from going out. But now no one goes out, so it's great. But I think that the gamers have been relatively resistant to a lot of stress like the general population, just because we still have that social support, right? We still have the same amount of our support system that we normally had, and a lot of what COVID is isolation. It's isolation from your friends, it's isolation from your family, it's isolation from your normal life. And when humans feel isolated, we don't react well. So we cope with mechanisms that we maybe have used before, or maybe are new, like overeating, like not exercising, like taking up smoking again, or things like that. So I think the gaming population has been doing okay, but what you're saying, Torbin, is very, very, very common.
I've been excited for this in the whole entire endeavor, because we've been able to talk to people like you and tell us and everyone else how we should be doing things and what's actually out there and what's worthwhile that we should be paying attention to. Like, we talked to the GamerSubs guy and we walked through all of their product and why they have the things that they do in it, and the nutritional things that they put in that they don't have to, just because they can.
Yeah. I think, can I tell a short side story about
Okay.
Anyways, here's my story on intermittent fasting. So when I was an intern, a patient was admitted to the hospital who had been diagnosed with a new onset cancer, and so had looked up a bunch of research, didn't eat for 60 days. After 60 days was over, drank a little carrot juice.
Wait, not eat for 60 days.
So there's bench research out there that suggests that cancer cells have a higher basal metabolic rate, meaning they consume energy quicker. So if you this is bench research. It has not been clinically applied, but so basically, if you intermittently fast, it's going to preferentially kill cancer cells before it kills your own cells. So he decided to treat his cancer with fasting. But anyways, I think that's, I've always been interested in intermittent fasting since I've heard that, which is interesting as not only is it a weight loss technique, but hypothetically cancer prevention.
How are you finding the chair that you're currently sitting in is helping with your posture and everything that's going on when you're streaming and having to sit at your desk for multiple hours?
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. I think esports, because it's becoming so popular so quickly and so lucrative, there's been a lot of business opportunities, right? Like brands non-endemic to the industry are coming in and being like, here is my product, do this thing. And I think that gaming chairs were honestly the first one. They were old racing chairs that got repurposed and sold to gamers. And a lot of gaming chairs are not built on ergonomics; they're built on a throne of lies. So I think that once you finally get a quality chair that was actually ergonomically designed, it has been it can be life changing. I mean, back pain is terrible. But so basically your back is a bunch of bones stacked up with little pieces of meat in between the bones cushioning them. And the little pieces of meat are your discs, and the bones stacked on top of each other are connected by joints, tiny little joints, but with joint fluid like your knee does. And so basically, even if you have like if you turn a certain way and you get a little tiny injury in that disc then suddenly becomes a little bit more fragile, and that fragility puts more stress on those joints. And when those joints have more stress, they get a little bit of fluid, just like if you fall on your knee, it swells up a little bit. That little bit of fluid throws off the entire architecture of the back, putting more pressure on the discs. More pressure on the disc puts more pressure on the joints, which creates more fluid. And then you get stuck in this degenerative cascade for 80 years. And if you don't interrupt that cascade, you live with back pain. And that is the reality of the life we live right now, because we sit in a chair and we don't need to engage our core. And the most effective way of mitigating back pain is core strengthening, but we don't do core strengthening unless we target it. And core strengthening hurts when you have back pain. So, I don't know. It's hard. Also, don't make comments on the website. We're hiring this week, and I did the website, so just leave it alone, okay?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm a doctor, not a websiter.
That's me. Oh my god, I look so cute.
You're a Fortniter that plays a doctor.
It's so funny because I used to my involvement with esports prior to like this summer was as a physician. It was like going to events, I'm a doctor. Going to events, I'm a doctor. Speaking at events, I'm a doctor. But through my nonprofit role, I'm doing so many other things now. So I had the experience today where someone was messaging me and I was like saying something about COVID and like my PPE that I was having to wear, and that sounded funny. But
I giggle whenever someone says that, but go on.
But she was like, "Wait, you're an actual doctor?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't know that." But it's funny because it's like you can call yourself doctor anything
and no one knows.
Gaming. And no one, So
someone wants to know on the nutrition list where cheesecake ranks.
Oh, I mean, it has protein in it. It's got protein. It's got, carbohydrates. There's no fiber in it. So I would say like out of 10, a 1.
I feel like Lauren would agree with this as well.
So I want to address a tweet that you put out.
Yes.
Oh no.
I thought it was hilarious personally because I made the tweet and then you retweeted the tweet and you said on that tweet, I've finally decided what I want on my tombstone in 100 years. Mm-hmm. Now, first off, you're saying you're going to live to like 120?
31.
Sure, somewhere in there. But it was cranking some 90s on health and wellness. Now, why is that so interesting to you? I find it funny, but I want to know why you do.
Torbin's like, remember that thing I said? Tell me how awesome it is. Come on.
No, I just want to know why you find, because
he wants you to pat him on the head and say, "Good boy."
When I was writing it, I was like, this seems funny to me because you play Fortnite, and I was like cranking 90s, and between Cup and I, we joke about cranking 90s, and even though he knows what cranking 90s is, and I know what cranking 90s is, but we still just talk about it anyways, like we don't know.
But I also don't know what it is.
Shut up. No, you don't know anything. Like literally, you don't know anything about the gaming industry.
Do you see how he speaks to me?
Yeah. Okay.
You see the ridiculousness
you ever
I have
played
to deal
Worms?
with?
You ever played Worms? Do you know what Worms are?
No, of course not. Because
Exactly.
I'm young and beautiful, Torbin. We talked about this.
I live my thoughts and the way I speak is weird because it's 75% drawn from pop culture, and I like quote things. I started to quote things that I think are funny, and then they've just been integrated into the way I speak. So I don't even remember what I'm quoting anymore. I'm just like saying stuff. And that tweet was like a subset of all of the dynamics of my life. So when you said like cranking 90s on health and wellness, it's like my Fortnite affiliation, my esports affiliation, and like humor all in one. And like I love that. I love that mesh. I love inside jokes within inside jokes within inside jokes because I think it's clever. And I think being clever is like one of the most redeemable traits that people can have. So that's why I liked it.
You can have whatever the fuck you want as long as you get memes.
Get a trough of wine.
Just get as long as you look up memes and understand pop culture references. I don't give a shit if you drink an entire bottle of wine during the show. Like something.
Resveratrol.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's it extends it's an antioxidant. Only done in fermented grape skin, so you can't get it from drinking grape juice.
Oh, see, now I need the wine.
Health and wellness.
Okay. Anyways, I have no idea. You said a bunch of terms
Bye.
there. I'm just going with it. So yeah, just going with it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Shot call, Aver Media, Blue Microphone.
You're just saying words now.
I'm
It's
saying
not even
words.
sponsors.
You're saying words. There are sponsors. Shut up. You know there are sponsors. Of course there are sponsors.
Oh God.